ECAT's production of concert series are provided by Morris Insurance, RevT with simplified technology for better, Doug King Bills Incorporated. ECAT would like to thank all the sponsors for supporting producing concert series.
If you were here, we have a totally different program tonight. Our whole program this year is in honor of Michael's dad, who passed away recently, and he was a musician in Russia who actually performed with some of the composers that we're going to be hearing about tonight. The first composer we're going to hear about tonight, however, is an American, Valerie Coleman, who is a flautist. Did I say that right? Flautist? Yeah. And she's an African-American person, and she was born in 1970 and does a lot of the same work that Michael tries to do, which is promote the works of minorities and women, okay? And I find it very, very interesting because the piece that we're going to be performing tonight is Tzigane. Does anybody know what that means? Okay, good. You can see, I can't say that word because that's one of those school teacher words. Yeah. Tzigane, correct. And it's a Roma word. It's a French word, but translated from Roma, which is the language of the people whose name I'm not going to say because it's offensive to them. And this piece is homage to Ravel, who about 100 years ago did a piece named the same way for orchestra and piano. Strings. We don't have an orchestra. We don't have percussions. So we're doing it in a chamber music style that was done by Valerie Coleman in 1998. It's a wonderful piece, and I hope you enjoy it. There's a lot of Central European feel to it, and it's part of what she does musically as a composer, which is draw on the traditions of people all around the world. Her main stylistic trend is Afro-Cuban music. But of course, for Afro-Cuban music, you also need a percussion section. We don't have a percussion section. We're chamber music. After we have Valerie Coleman, the American composer, the next three composers on our bill tonight are all Russians. And as I said last night, when some of you were here, what did I say? Oh, does anybody have a microphone that worked? That was my first thing. The second thing was all the composers that were playing this year made it into the 20th century. None of them died before 1940. Now, when you think back 10 years, because this is our 10th anniversary of the Chamber Music Festival, we started off with the traditional chamber music composers, particularly Bach. Now we've covered the entire repertoire of chamber music. I don't know what Michael's going to do next year, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing because the pieces that he has found for us over the past several years have been spectacular. And of course, we have spectacular players here as well. So let's take a quick look at the Russian composers. The first one we're going to be hearing tonight is Alfred Schnittke, who was born in 1934 and died in 1998. He was a young composer who was influenced by Shostakovich, but also by a number of European composers, particularly Mozart and Schubert. He is generally considered to be a composer in the school of don't go away. polystylistic. I always get the polys wrong. Polystylistic. In other words, instead of having a particular style that's, Beethoven sounds like Beethoven, Bach sounds like Bach, he draws on many, many styles. And that's one way that you can navigate the 20th century. The other is to be extremely innovative in things like chromaticism, tonality, et cetera, et cetera. But the composers, all three that we're looking at tonight, managed to hone pretty close to traditional musical styles and yet add a modern flair to it. The piece that we're going to hear is the one that I've really been waiting for. It's a duet between a bass and a cello. That's interesting because our bassist and our cellist are married, so we have the family must have had plenty of time to rehearse. But this is the most radical of all the pieces that we are going to play tonight. It's pretty amazing, and I hope you enjoy it. The next composer is Dmitri Schostakovich, and of course, he's generally considered to be the best or most widely known Russian composer of the 20th century. And what a life he had. He was proscribed twice by the Russian government, came close to losing his life in the Great Purge of 1936, when many of his musical friends were either sent to Siberia where they died or simply shot. But somehow Shostakovich managed to survive. Stalin liked him enough not to kill him nor imprison him. But his music was not played for substantial portions of his life because of the fact that it didn't follow along with the prescribed or prescribed music of the Soviet state. There's a certain spiritualism in it. And just like Schnittke, he was a polystylistic composer. He was incredibly creative, more creative perhaps than Schnittke, although Schnittke in the atheistic Russian state was very spiritual. He was a Jewish-German family that had emigrated to the Soviet Union and was a practicing Jew all his life until very late in life when he converted to Catholicism and wrote many pieces that related to the Christian religion. Shostakovich is a controversial figure in music history because many folks feel that he didn't protest widely enough against the Stalinist regime, which is a fast way to get yourself killed. But he didn't do that. He did write letters to his friends that were in trouble, and he has a very, very strong track record of fighting the anti-Semitism that's so common even today in the Soviet Union. So those are strong points in his favor. He didn't, however, protest very much about having his own music prescribed. If you are as old as I am, you may remember that he did visit the United States and performed with Leonard Bernstein on television in America. That's the first time I heard about Shostakovich, and have been involved in some projects where he was played. Many of the composers in the Soviet Union copied his style. That's even when he was in trouble. The oldest Russian composer that we're going to be looking at tonight is Paul Juon, and he was born in Moscow in 1872. He was the son of an insurance official, so he didn't have a particular musical heritage. But while surviving as a music and composition teacher, he was one of the first Russians to be recorded in 1911. We're going to be hearing his piano sextet, Opus 29, which is an early work of his, and it's for 2 violins, 2 violas, 2 cellos, and a piano. So we're going to have a wide range of instruments and a wide range of wonderful music tonight. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm only 3 minutes over my allotted time, so let's move on to have real performers come up. Thank you. So that was a cue, real life performance. They'll be here. We were just singing opera downstairs, so the fabulous singer that we had last night at the performance was trying to teach our musicians opera. And even me, and it's a hard task. Those are people that are official musicians. You can hear them play tomorrow. Please come to our student performances. And I've been listening to the rehearsals all afternoon. They're going to be fabulous. It's great. Are we ready, sir?
Yes. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I see many faces. I recognize you from yesterday. I see many faces a little bit new to us today, but I also see faces in the audience. I know that some of you are coming to the concerts for many, many years. So thank you so much for being such a committed audience. Ed already told you everything about the program. I really hope that you will enjoy the music, that you will enjoy the performance by absolutely awesome musicians tonight. I would like to thank Easton Lions Club and Easton Cultural Council for support, and let me invite the musicians here, and please enjoy the music. Thank you so much for being here.
job. Good job.
I do remember how many years ago my dad took me to Moscow. We went to a meeting. Well, he did. He just took me. You see a couple of children there in the back, so that's what their parents who play today. They're doing the same thing. So my dad took me to this meeting of composers. The guy came out, was hanging out in this room, very tall. He said, "This is Alfred Schnittke." That's as close as I got to Alfred Schnittke when I was a kid. But this is one dark piece of music, wouldn't you say? These Soviets really knew how to write dark pieces of music. Ladies and gentlemen, the next piece of music is not, even though it is written by probably the most iconic Soviet composer, is not dark at all. Shostakovich, in my opinion, many people will perhaps disagree with me, but in my opinion wrote three kinds of music. First, just as heavy and dark as this one. Second, really bad music sometimes. And I know this is terrible for me to say, but I will explain it in a minute. He was sometimes commissioned by the government to write pieces of music. He would usually write them quickly, just to get them off his back or shoulders, and they were often not very impressive pieces of music at all. And then he wrote the third kind of music, kind of movie-like stuff, very Hollywood-like stuff, very pretty, very pretty, very light, completely happy. And this next piece of music that you will hear in the manual, and Pascal and Joe will play, it's just one of those. So enjoy Shostakovich.
Well, we're having some difficulties with technology. Let me tell you, this particular music has a lot of very, very short parts, especially the second movement. It's a theme and 8 variations. So if you're not sure when the second movement is over, I think just save all of your applause until the end. you will know that for sure.
And I mean, we're also not sure when it's over.
ECAT's production of concert series are provided by Morris Insurance, RevT with simplified technology for better, Doug King Bills Incorporated. ECAT would like to thank all the sponsors for supporting producing concert series.